Welcome to the orientation for the Youth Triathlon presented by Tri-KC and held at the North Kansas City YMCA. A couple key times that you need to keep in mind are the following. The event is on July 25th, that's on Sunday, at 7 a.m. The transition area will open at 6 a.m. There is a parking lot, which we'll go over here in a minute, that is part of the YMCA parking lot that closes at 6:30 a.m. because the streets will also be closing around the area at that time. After 6:30 a.m. you can park on Armour Boulevard or one of the other streets that are nearby, but do not park on Iron Street, 18th Avenue, or Jasper Street, as those are the streets which the bike will be held on. The transition area will be closing at 6:55 a.m., so you need to be all set up and ready to go, unless you're a TOTS racer at that time, and we will announce later on exactly what time the TOTS need to be there. There will be an award ceremony at the conclusion of the triathlon. So what do we need? Here is a checklist of things that you need to bring. Some of these things you don't necessarily bring. We should already have your SAT, membership card, photo ID, that type of information. But more importantly, you'll need your swim cap, or if you wear one, your goggles, your swimsuit, a place for your transition mat to be laid, or a towel to be laid down as a mat. You need your bike, and very important, you need your helmet. You can't race without your helmet. And your running shoes. It's probably a good idea to bring a hat or a visor. Most importantly, make sure you bring your race number. It's be a paper number you'll receive in your packet. Bring a bottle of cold water to drink in the transition area or on the bike if you're able to do that. Again, if you don't have your helmet, you will not be able to ride the bike. Prior to coming, make sure that your bike is in good working order. The brakes are working, the gears are working, the tire pressure is working. Hanover Bikes will be there to make minor repairs on bikes, but it's impossible to fix major repairs that day. If you do have issues on your bikes, you can give them a call now at 913-396-3611 or email them at hanoverbikes@gmail.com and set up a time for them to take a look at your bike and get it fixed up before race day so you're race ready. One other thing you need to do before coming to the event is to self-mark with a magic marker. That is, put a number, your number, on both arms with a magic marker. Do this before you put on sunscreen, because if you put on sunscreen, it will not last through the swim, and we need to see your number as you bike and run. How do you get there? Well, the best way is to come I-35, get off at Armour Boulevard, no matter which direction you're coming. Go southwest on Armour to Iron Street, make a left on Iron Street, and then you'll be coming down the road to see the parking lot in which you're going to park in. The YMCA is located at 1999 Iron Street. There's two parking lots at the YMCA. There's the main parking lot you can see in this picture here with all the cars, and then there's the one in a circle. You are to park with the one in the circle. Do not park in the main parking lot. We're using that as part of the event space. So park there. You come in. You can do that anytime before 6:30. Again, do not park on Iron Street, 18th Avenue, or Jasper. If you don't get there in time, then you'll need to try to park on Armour or one of the other side streets. Also, if you do park in the YMCA parking lot, you will not be able to leave until the entire event has been concluded. As you can see from this photograph, you can see where Armour is. There is parking along Armour. There's a little bit right there in front of the YMCA, but there's also other parking along Armour down the street. It's easily accessible, and you can just simply walk. It's a very short walk, and it's also flat. During race day, there'll be one bathroom within this YMCA that is open for anyone's use, so make sure you use that bathroom and that bathroom only. There will be first aid available inside the YMCA near the pool area, and just for informational purposes, North Kansas City Hospital is a very short distance away at 2800 Clay Edwards Drive. So here's a macro view of the bike course that takes up the Iron Streets, the 16th, 18th Avenue, and a street that you probably wouldn't know it's a street because it looks actually going through an industrial area, but it is called Jasper Street. So you basically are going to go down Iron, come back to 18th Avenue, then turn on Jasper, come back to 18th Avenue, go down to Lynn, and come all the way back to Iron and back towards the transition area. That's just a macro view. We'll go over the details here in just one second. The swim course is inside the YMCA, and the run course is around the YMCA, so there should be no problem there. Basically, you go inside when you get there and get lined up, and we'll talk about that here in a second. And the run course will be the concrete section you can kind of see going around the YMCA, along with the sidewalk that circles the YMCA. The transition area will be in the parking lot, and we're actually going to move this over one space because there's some parking issues for the handicap. So we'll move that over one space, but it'll be in the parking lot, generally where the transition is marked in this photograph. Again, it opens at 6 a.m., so don't get there before then, but have everything ready and set up by 6:55 a.m. Make sure that you wear your number at all times during the bike and the run. We need that number so that we're able to record where you are in the course, and the only way we have to identify you is by your number. At the start of the race, you'll be called to the YMCA hallway, which is not the hallway we're looking at right now through the glass, but it's down. If you keep on going and around the corner, there's a door there that enters the pool, and you'll line up there by your age classification or distance classification, and then you'll be marched into the pool one by one to start, one by one. Important things to remember, and we'll go over this again because this is probably potentially the most confusing part of the triathlon for the kids. For the long course on the swim, you're going to do 4 laps. We'll go over that in detail. For the intermediate course, 4 lengths. A length is just 1 time down, and 1 time back is 2 lengths. The short course is 2 lengths. The bike is pretty simple. 1 lap for the short course, and again on the run, 1 lap for the short course. Intermediate course, 2 laps on the bike, 2 laps on the run, and for the long course, 4 laps on the bike, 4 laps on the run. Now, the kids are responsible for getting the correct number of laps, so it's very important because if you don't, then we're going to have someone recording that. We'll know that you didn't complete the course, and we will not be able to have you added in the award ceremony part of it, just in case you win, because more likely than not, you'll have done a shorter course than the other kids. So take a good look at this here slide and try to memorize it based on what your kid or your child is doing at the event and what race course they'll be doing. For the swim will be indoors, as you can see here. It'll be serpentine style, meaning that you'll swim down 1 lane, or possibly down and back 1 lane, and then under the rope and down and back, or down 1 lane. So here's how it goes for the long course. Long course is 4 laps, so it'll be down and back in 1 lane under the ropes, down and back in another lane under the ropes, down and back in another lane under the ropes, and down and back, and then get out at the ladder. Everybody will exit at the ladder, walk along the edge of the pool to the glass door, and you will then go out the glass door, which will lead you to the sidewalk and to the transition area. The intermediate course is 4 lengths, down a lane and back another. And the short course is 2 lanes, down a lane and back another. We'll go over that in more detail here in just 1 second. So here's the way the long course swim looks. As you can see, you're using 1 lane to go down and back, and you're going to do that on all 4 lanes. Short course, the intermediate course is a little different. You're going to go down 1 lane, back another lane, down 1 lane, back another lane, and then out. And the short course is even simpler. You go down 1 lane, back 1 lane, and out. Very simple. For the tots, you'll be going through the shallow pool, walking. Parents are allowed to assist the tots in the swim, bike, and run. We would ask that you just have 1 parent assisting during the swim because of the limited space that's available. After you get done with your swim, you're going to exit the glass doors, come out to the pool deck there. It's on the outside, head out to the sidewalk, and go to transition. That should be very simple, and you should be able to follow that just based on going on the sidewalk. You'll see the transition when you get out of the building. There's a few rules we need to go over for the bike so that you know what they are and that you follow them. First of all, you have to wear your helmet on the bike. That means any time that your bike is not on the rack, your helmet has to be on. So before you unrack your bike, make sure your helmet's on, and when you get back from your bike ride, rack your bike first and then take your helmet off. After you got your bike off the rack, when you get back, when you start, walk your bike to the mount line. There'll be a mount line. Go over the mount line, and that's where you can mount your bike. During the race, there's no drafting. That means you have to be at least 2 lengths behind the rider in front of you. If you pass another rider, you must do so within 15 seconds, and you must stay within the right half of the roadway. And make sure the kids all are aware that they need to be on the right half of the roadway at all times, and passing will just be within that right half. If you've been passed, you need to drop back slightly so you're not within the 2 bike length distance. For drafting, and when you get done with the bike, you come back to the transition area at the dismount line, and before you go across the dismount line, then walk your bike to the transition area after you dismount. So the bike is really flat and it's very fast. The roads are going to be closed to vehicular traffic, but as always, make sure you're looking out for vehicle traffic, including cars that might be parked on the street. So that's very important, even though we have the roads closed. There will be cones that mark the course to guide you, but be aware of the course before you come. Take a look at this video again if you need to. We'll go over the course in a little greater detail. There will also be chalked arrows on the road for you to see which way you're going, and marking potentially problematic spots in the road so that you don't hit those. Go around those areas that are marked with a big circle so you don't run over a divot or something like that in the road. Always ride on the right hand side of the road even when you are passing. So here's the bike course coming out of the transition area. You'll see that you go down Iron Street, go all the way down to 16th Avenue, make a U-turn, go back up to 18th Avenue, hang a right, go all the way up to Jasper, hang another right, go all the way back down to 16th Avenue, make a U-turn, head back to 18th Avenue, make a right, go to Lynn Street, turn around there, and take Lynn Street all the way back to Iron Street, hang a right, and then go back to the transition area. When you get back to the transition area, go all the way to the end of the parking lot. If you have another lap to do, you'll complete that lap. If you're finished, you can park your bike in the transition area and get on with the run. Remember what the bike laps are: 1 for the short course, 2 for the intermediate course, and 4 laps for the long course. It's a good idea to write these on your hand, both for the bike and the the bike and the run, so that you do not forget during the race, as many kids often do. The TOTS bike will be a little bit different. Just simply go out of the transition area, go up to Iron. There'll be a spot there to turn around, come back, and then come back to the transition area. On your run, again, that's all within the North Kansas City YMCA facility lot. It's very fast and it's very flat. You'll go from the transition area. You can see where the arrows are marked here. Head out on a little concrete path that goes around the YMCA. Run to the sidewalk, which will be at Armour Road. Hang a left. Run all the way down that sidewalk. Hang another left. Come back up Iron Street, and then get back into the parking lot area, where you'll continue to go straight until the last portion of the parking lot there. You're going to turn left, go back up again, and then continue to go on with your next lap or go to the finish line. Again, 1 lap for the short course on the run, 2 laps for the intermediate course on the run, and 4 laps for the long course on the run. TOTS run is a little bit different. Simply go on the concrete area path that goes up to Armour Road, turn around there, come back, and head to the finish line. So once again, take a look at this. This is the lap summary. You need to remember the number of laps that you're doing. The swim isn't too complicated because there's really only one way to go. It's easy to forget what you might be doing on the bike or run, so write those numbers on your hand. You're responsible to kids are responsible for completing the correct number of laps. So make sure they know that, make sure they're aware of that, and try to remind them of that while they are racing. We want to thank our sponsors, the Tri-KC Triathlon Club, North Kansas City YMCA, Roma Bakery, Bobo's, who make some great and healthy bars, chicken and pickle, and Hanover bikes. Everyone that you see at this event is working as a volunteer. It's our goal to try to put on these events without trying to make money, and the more people we have that can participate, the better we can make the events. So we hope we'll come back next year and invite some of your friends along. Most important thing to do at this race is to have fun. Just make it a lot of fun. It is not the Olympics, at least yet, so practice, get better, have fun. We will have awards, gold, silver, and bronze awards for the boys and girl winners in the short course, intermediate course, and the long course. Afterwards, we will have some food and beverage bags for the kids to pick up, including Bobo bars. As you can see, they're gluten-free, non-GMO, vegan, kosher, dairy-free, and soy-free. So hopefully that'll meet everybody's needs, and they're also very good. Spectators, you can't come into the pool area during the swim because there simply isn't enough room. But you can watch, as you can see in this photograph here, the swim through those glass windows and doors. Make sure you stay in that hallway where you can see in this picture, because the other hallways will line the kids up. After the bike, it's a good place to stand between the transition area and the run course. You'll be able to see the run and the transition and the bike well from there, especially for those doing multiple laps. We want to thank you for participating at the Youth Triathlon. Again, we hope we'll see you next year, and we hope you have a fun and exciting race. If you have any comments or questions, please leave them below.